Welcome back to the lineup, Justice. I know it's been about a month since you played. Coach shared with us in his interview, thinks you're now undefeated, about 5 or 6-0 this season. What is it like to get back out there and contribute to more winning basketball?
It's great. Basketball has been my life for a long time, so whenever I get the chance to get back out there after an injury, it's a blessing. Just a lot of gratitude, a lot of glory to God, but just going out there having fun and competing is what I love to do. So that was fun, and it's always nice coming out with a win.
I know you kind of had a couple of nagging injuries throughout the year. Just wanted to ask, how are you feeling physically and mentally? What is it like kind of carrying that through the season?
I felt great today. My body felt really good. Mentally, it can be draining, but I give a lot of praise to the staff and the coaching staff, medical staff, even my family and friends for just lifting me up every day. But unfortunately, it's not my first time, so I got some experience with it, knowing how to navigate it. There were good days, there were bad days, but a lot more good days than bad days, so I'm proud about that.
Yeah. Given a pretty big role for you in the first game back, getting to take a lot of shots and huge plays late in the game. What does that trust from the team mean to you when you talk about their support and everything, just in knowing, fresh off of not playing for so many days, you'd be ready to help get this win?
Just the work. They've seen me working, whether it's conditioning or getting up extra shots. And when you see someone work, you believe in it, you trust it. So, I play the game the right way. I like to think I don't, force shots too often. So a lot of shots were just in rhythm. A lot of shots were open. So I just trusted my preparation, my mechanics, and knocked them down.
The three-point shooting in particular, I know that's a focus for pretty much every basketball player at this point. How much work has gone into that, and how are you feeling right now versus previously in your career about the three ball?
I feel good about it now. Really just less is more, almost. Just mechanically. Beno has been really helpful this year as well, just with my balance and my feet work and just getting more power through my glutes. But I feel good. Like you said, the three ball is the NBA right now. And I actually got into the NBA right before kind of that trend really started. So that's been an adjustment I had to make mid-career. But it is what it is. I think the greatest players are able to adjust on the fly, and that's what you have to do. So I'm confident in it. I'm going to keep shooting it. But I'm just going to shoot the right ones. I think sometimes I've gotten carried away in the past and trying to prove it too much and shooting the wrong ones. So when I'm shooting the right ones, I think the percentage will be high.
Speaking of when you came in the league, a little battle with someone in your draft class, Frank Kaminsky out there. What is it like, all these years later, matching up with him again? And, what was kind of the exchange after you drew that offensive foul? I saw you guys meeting mid-court, but then ended up just handshake.
Truthfully, we don't like each other.
Okay.
But we keep it respectful. We talk trash, but it's nothing personal. It's within the game. But we don't really like each other. Going back to college, too. We played them. Beat them in Madison, beat them in national championship. So I have respect for him as a player. I don't really know him personally, but it's fair to say we don't like each other.
Fair enough. And game was a little chippy just generally. I know there were technical fouls, flagrant fouls as well, not just involving you two. Is that just a symptom of the same team playing each other in back-to-back nights and two competitive games? Yeah,
I think, it's like a playoff series almost. You play the same team 4 to 7 times in a row. It's going to get a little chippy, but it's always like that for me. The first game back, I wish I could manage it a little better the first game, but I struggle with that. But I always get a text from my mom after the games that I need to stay off the refs, so I'm sure I'll be better next year.
And then just for this game itself, kind of the game flow, Raptors were able to make that big second quarter run. You guys got it all back in the third quarter. Just what flipped to put you in position to win that game?
I think just our attention to details. They're a good team. I don't think they have any crazy shot makers or anything like that. I think they built a lead off of easy buckets, things that we could control. And I think in the third quarter we controlled them, and I think they really struggled to score.
That's all I got. Thanks, Justice.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations on the great game, 30-piece game winner.
Yeah.
How great does that feel, not only to have that moment, but then get to celebrate with your son and have him for the post-game interview after?
Yeah, that was special. I was looking up in the crowd for my wife, and she was like running down to the court, handing me off to Pav. So no, it was awesome. That was a lot of fun. Our team came back in that second half, just the ability to stay with it, show a lot of character, because we could have easily, just let that game get away from us, say we won last night. But, that guys fought hard. Justise Winslow, it's huge to have him back. Hit some huge threes. And then, were able to get that switch at the end. And, you know, James did a good job getting that shot up early enough for, you know, me to go crash, and it just happened to bounce in my hands. I got lucky, you know. I was crashing a couple times this night, and it was bouncing the other way, but no one fell right in my lap. So that was fun to get a win with a great crowd like we had tonight, and to get 2 in a row and try to make a little run here in this March.
You know, you mentioned kind of the turnaround in the second half. I think you had 19 points in the third quarter. We caught up with Coach. He mentioned kind of around the halfway mark of the year, players started looking to you more to go get those buckets.
Yeah.
What does it mean to have the trust of your teammates and to be able to come through in nearly a 20-point quarter tonight?
Yeah, it means everything. You know, as a basketball player, have respect to your teammates, to trust you to go be in those situations. And so, you know, it was guys were finding me, and you know, I was able to make some moves, and I think too, especially in that post, I'm able to either attack the mismatch or if they come double, find them. And so, you know, I thought we did a really good job of in the second half playing some team basketball, picking up the pace a little bit. I thought we were a little slow in the first half, but you know, it was just fun. I think it was almost 2 different games from the first half to the second half, and to be able to get one like that showed a lot of toughness in our group.
Yeah, I mean, you're scoring from all over the place, but the poster dunk and one, I mean, how great does that feel every time it comes up? And just when do you know it's going to work, right, in the game? When you're going up that strong, but the contest is there? I mean, kind of walk us through, I guess, what goes through your mind in those quick 2 seconds, but so much is happening.
Yeah, you know, I think in that little stretch, I had a couple flashes towards the middle where I was able to get a little success, and that one I flashed right towards the nail, right towards the free throw line, and I turned and no one was there, so I took, I think, one big dribble and a gather, and you know, I was able to stretch out and get that one in, and you know, it was kind of fun. Dave Murphy was trying to hype me up. I sometimes surprised myself in a couple of those plays, you know, but no, it was great, the reaction from the bench and the team. It was just, no, it was fun. It was just, you could feel the momentum changing in that third quarter.
Yeah, it seemed like the Raptors could feel it too. You know, a couple of hard fouls, including one flagrant on you. Is that just the game getting chippy? You think it's the comeback? Is it playing the team 2 nights in a row, or what do you think went into that?
I'm sure a little frustration. I did have going there a little bit in the third, and so it was a little scary when you get bumped in the air like that. I felt like that was unnecessary, but you know, we just kept playing through it. You know, I thought we didn't let our, you know, we could get caught up in a little push and match, but I thought, you know, we were kind of focused on what we're trying to get done, and so guys did a good job of just playing through that and, you know, get on a run and making them just, like I said earlier, changing momentum.
And then I know your college careers didn't overlap, but going head-to-head with Frank Kaminsky, 2 guys who went to college here in the state, had these long careers. What's that like all these years later, matching up and going literally head-to-head against him? Yeah,
you know, that was fun for me. I played with Frank actually in November during the FIBA window in Washington, D.C., so I got to obviously know from being from Wisconsin, watching those Final Four teams they had and all the success those Badgers teams had, so you know him from that and kind of playing across him a few times in the NBA over the years, and so be able to match up with him after getting to know him during the FIBA window was fun just because he's a really nice guy. It was really good to get to know him and stuff, and so no, that was fun. So you know, it was just like a little Wisconsin Marquette match up there for the in-state fans for sure.
And you had that going. You had obviously Justice and his history with him as well. Right. So there was a lot of good matchups there.
I think Justice has he's pretty proud of his history against Frank too. I think.
He shared that he very much is.
Right, yeah.
But in terms of on court for him, you know, coming back after missing about a month and immediate impact, you know, how apparent was just what he can do on both ends for the team.
I think he gives us a lot of confidence. Just having him out there, having his presence, you can feel it. He just makes winning plays. He's done that his whole career. And so having a guy like him out on the court, you know, coming up with a big charge at the end, a big stop, getting a loose ball, and then knocking down back-to-back threes. It gives our team a lot of confidence that, you know, he's a winner and he's going to help us show the way to get it done.
Congrats on the win, Coach, back-to-back. How difficult is it going up against the same team 2 games in a row, 2 nights in a row, to come away with 2 wins in that situation?
I mean, it's really hard, you know, and we always say in those games, like, if you come up with 1 win, it's great, you know, and we came up with 2, so even better. And like, you know, we've been in the last 7 games, we, I think, did anybody notice, basically gave the wins away. We had them, we were right there. If we just played a little smarter and harder, those games we would probably win a couple of them. Yeah. And we didn't have really room for error to give the game away. So I'm glad we protected the home court and came out with the win,
Definitely, kind of reversal from the second quarter to the third quarter with them building the big lead and you getting it all back. Mm-hmm. What do you think changed to kind of swing the fortune back your way heading into the fourth?
I mean, we just tried to give confidence to the guys and just tell them, like, we got to do better. I mean, just got to go out there. Like, in the second quarter, they were playing harder, and guys understood that, and we watched some film, and they saw it, and, a lot of it was them, too. They start talking with each other and start cheering for each other, and they went out there and, they play hard. They got us back into the game and, close it down. So, all the props to the guys, the players.
Yeah, I think Henry had 19 in that quarter, hit the game winner as well. Just a huge offensive game for him. Mm-hmm. What has he been giving your team in terms of that consistent go-to scoring option this season?
I mean, you just said it. As a go-to guy, he can score multiple ways. He can shoot. He's been shooting great. I think he's been shooting over 45% from the three. And then, he's got, we can get him on a post if we get him in mismatches. So, Henry is, I would say, like the most consistent player for us. But like the players are starting to recognize it too. Like kind of in the middle of the season, they start to recognize that and like trying to find him more. Yeah. And Henry responded, so we were really fortunate to have him.
And then Justise, huge impact late in this game. His first game back in about a month. How crucial is it to have that veteran, that two-way player back and able to make big plays like he did tonight?
I mean, yeah, we put a lot of faith in Justise, and that's why we brought him here. Unfortunately, he's having injuries, but I don't know if you guys know that, but he's been undefeated when he's playing. We have been undefeated. Yeah. I think he's 5 or 6-0. Yeah. So, that's what he brings to the team. He's strong. He can guard multiple positions. He's been working on his shot, so his shot is better, knocking down threes. And I definitely believe he deserves to be in the NBA. But just got to stay healthy, and we wish him all. He stays healthy for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. And then I know he wasn't here tonight, but Udrih Stanley had a great game, and again in the last game against 905. Mm-hmm. I know I've caught up with him about kind of the shot not always going in. How happy were you to see him have a scoring outburst like that this season?
I mean, yeah, he's been struggling. There was a lot of back and forth for him, so a lot of maybe confusion and not knowing the exact style of play that we play. I mean, offense we have very similar, or if not the same offensive sets, but still just having the chemistry with the guys. And yesterday he came in and he was huge for us. He was knocking down shots, he was going down to the rim, making the right plays, and defensively helped us a lot. So we were happy to have him last night, yeah, and every other night, So, yeah. But yeah, he had a great night for us.
And then different two-way spot, the organization making the move to let go of Liam Robbins and bring in Pete Nance. I know he's out with the ankle right now. He hasn't played here yet, but any impression of him as a player, and are you excited to work him in as well down here?
I mean, yeah, I know him from last year when we played the Charge. Yeah. Definitely a very good player, deserving of a two-way. He can shoot, and he's got the size, so. We are in need of that, and the Bucks obviously are in need of that too. So he can definitely bring some outside shooting, and we'll see how much we get to see him. Yeah. We have basically a month left in the season, so once he heals up, we'll see what happens.
And then, I love asking you about point guards. Mm-hmm. James Akinjo this season, one of the leading assist men in the NBA, really seems to have taken a stride in the ball handling and just setting up teammates' department. What have you seen from him this year?
I mean, definitely saw his growth. If anybody looks at his stats, this is his best year so far in the G League. And we have a lot of trust in James, and when he plays like this, we're gonna be right there to win pretty much every game. So. And like I said, with Henry and Justise and all the other guys, we're really fortunate to have James. Hopefully we continue. We're going on the West Coast for 3 games, playing against good teams, and not a lot of times we see the West Coast teams. So it's going to be probably a little bit different style, but if we play like we did today in 3 quarters, first, third, and fourth, we're going to be right there to win games. So everything, we'll see what happens. So.
Got it. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.